fantastic crowd here, so bear with me for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to talk about one unique investment opportunity. I'm going to give you two stories about elephants and tsunamis, and I'm going to give you the three reasons why mangroves are superheroes. Yes, you have already guessed it. We are in the mangrove space. We are planting and protecting mangroves around the world together with local communities. We are financing our work with private funds. So I'm going to start there. Can I get the next slide, please? Doesn't look good, does it? Okay, let's try that again. I'm coming to the ROI already, hopefully. Okay, so there has already been quite some talk about the alternative asset class here, right? So in order to say that nature-based solutions like mangroves financed by carbon projects actually has a good return on investment, let's compare the boutique opportunity that I'm going to present to you with that. So you see here on this side, you can see timberland. So it's not a US company, it's the forest, equities, income. And we should get around at least 10%, right, to get a good ROI. The opportunity I'm going to present to you has that. We have very conservative numbers on the price of carbon credits and on the amount of carbon credits. We still have 10%. But before that, we're going to talk about the three reasons why mangroves are fantastic and why you get this in addition to the ROI. First of all, I think many of you already know, they are great climate fighters. They are storing 5 times as much CO2 as rainforests. Most people know that about the mangroves. Can I get the next slide, please? But there are two more reasons. 1 year ago, I quit my last job in the UN. I went on a plane to Bangkok, where our global office is, and I didn't know that much about mangroves. So what did I do? First day, I went to our founder. You can see, most likely you can't see him, but he's down here, Arne Fjørtoft. So I asked him the first day, so why? We have been in this space working with local communities since 1979. Why did you change to mangroves 12 years ago? Why? And he said, that's quite easy. I said, okay, so tell me the story. So this is the first story. We've been working 26 countries across Africa, Asia, Latin America before that. And he walked the beaches of Sri Lanka, Thailand, many of the other places after the tsunami in 2004. What did he discover? He could see with his own eyes where there were mangroves, where the mangroves were not shot down, there was less damage. There were less dead people. I mean, in the beginning, he was like, should I perhaps look into the research as well? So he did that. 50 to 90% less damages and similar numbers for the death rate of people. That's why we went into mangroves. And of course, they are also fantastic for nourishment of local communities. 2/3 of all fish, tropical fish, is born in the mangroves. 4 million fishermen and women are dependent on mangroves. So number two, yes, they are the bodyguards of coastal communities. So that same day, I was in his house, and then he had on the wall, he had this big photo of some elephants. You can see them here. So I asked him, so Dr. Arne, why do you have elephants on your wall? And he said, and it was like, he was a bit emotional, right? It was like, we had talked about local communities and there's some elephants, and he get emotional. And he said, you know what, Kim, we planted the big scale first mangrove operations in 2015. And 4 years later, I went there to take pictures, for marketing issues and with local communities and all that. And while they were in the boat, just outside the mangroves, there were elephants. They came back 4 years after they planted the first mangroves. The wild elephant came back, he screamed, right? And that was fantastic. So that was very emotional for him, but it just tells you that when the elephants come back, then the rest of the ecosystem come back. The nature come back. So carbon fighters, nature, and local communities. Can I have the next slide, please? So then to the investment opportunity. So what we've been doing for the last 5 years, we've been working with several family offices, onboarding them into this space, right? Because the next generation family offices tell us that they are really interested in this, but a bit insecure, right? They haven't done it before. Is the ROI good or not, right? So we hold them in the hand to go into that field. So here's a small opportunity, only less than 3 million USD. How does it work? We get the funds in upfront, early investment. We plant, and after 3 years, the carbon credits come out. The investors get 50% of that. The other is shared with the local community, and we have to deduct our cost, of course. What does it mean? For 25 years, investors get the carbon credits. I can sell them or pension them if they want to reduce their footprint, right? So, but this is a particularly interesting opportunity. So you can see less than 3 million gets to 30 million USD. So an average annual of around 10%. But usually you have to wait 3 years, right? In this case, you only have to wait 1 year because we already planted this project 2 years ago. So you invest this year, you get carbon credits for the first time in 1 year. That's an amazing low risk of implementation. But of course, there's always a risk profile you have to discuss with that, as in every investment, right? So if I can get the next slide. Why us? Track record, 12 years. We will not find anybody else in this space with a track record. 7 carbon projects, 6 of them already operating, 7 being planted as we speak in Malaysia. We are working with 140,000 people in livelihood across the world. And we have already very good ratings. And there are also some more investors in this room. And we are very thankful for that work. But it is just a clear indication of what's the track record we have. We are also going to fund another pipeline of 40 million USD the next year, so Panama and Malaysia and some other countries. Can I have the last slide, please? So this is me and Nick, our COO, in a bit more relaxed situation. Nick is here somewhere over there. If you want to talk with either one of us about the small, unique boutique investment we have for you, or the larger picture, 40 million USD going forward pipeline, we're happy to do so. And we have a last opportunity for you. So every time I meet a family office, almost is saying, "Oh, you want to do real estate because we're doing that, and we want to do an investment in carbon, right?" On Thursday, we are gathering 20 people together. We have another 5 spaces left to discuss the topic, because it's we have to find out how to do that in a good way. I promise you, no glam, no keynotes, and just good discussions. 1.5 hours. If you want to do either that, so discuss investments with us, or some of the stories of Dr. Arne, please just reach out to either Nick or me within the next time that we're here. So thank you so very much for being here and for looking into the green and impact space going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. A round of applause for him.